Hello everyone and welcome to the GMS Magazine channel. I am Paco Garcia, your host, and this is the RPG A Day 2021 edition. This is the series of videos in which we talk about role-playing games every single day during the month of August, and that's an initiative that was started by Dave Chapman 8 years ago. Today's prompt should be wilderness. But, I bet there are people who know a lot more about wilderness than me, so I'm just going to talk about something that I know a lot about. Listen. Why do I know a lot about listening and listen? Because, well, when you're training as a psychotherapist and you have to be in the room with people who are telling you their issues, you have to listen, to truly listen to what they are saying. And that doesn't mean just taking in through here what they're saying. It means taking it through here, bringing it here, and work with it as you hear it. You have to listen properly to it. Why does that matter within the world of role-playing games? Because oftentimes we just don't listen to what's happening around the table. And there are two things that we have to listen: to what's being said, and believe it or not, to what is not being said. Sometimes a silence is louder than any scream, because screaming means a reaction. But silence, that means an inaction. That means that people are a bit, I don't feel like I can talk. I don't feel like I can say what I want to say, which means that there are two issues with it. One is what they think, what they want. That may not be what the table is interested in. But secondly, that there isn't an element of trust that we spoke about in the previous episode. That they don't feel they can, that they're not comfortable opening their mouths and saying, I wish we didn't have that much blood, or I wish we had more cannon fodder to destroy, or I wish we were role-playing more, or I wish the snacks weren't all just deep-fried stuff and we could have something else. What's not being said is very important. How many times have we had a conversation with somebody? Said, no, I was feeling uncomfortable. I didn't like this. Why didn't you say? That's the point. Why didn't you say, well, I didn't want to bother anyone. I thought it was just me. It's very important to actually listen and read the room. Find out what the reactions are. Because listening is not just a matter about what comes through our ears. It is to do with how it comes through our ears and how it is transmitted. Let's not forget that spoken communication is not everything about communication at all. And we lose a tongue when we write, we lose a tongue in these videos where if you were here face to face, you may be able to feel, to notice things that otherwise you cannot notice and see. That's just the way it goes. So I think it is something that I don't know how many role-playing games actually talk about this. Because one of the things that pretty much no RPG does is to tell you how to play. And yes, there are ways of how to play role-playing games. Listening is the way to play role-playing games. Paying attention is the way to play role-playing games. Letting people talk is a way of playing role-playing games. All those things, that's how you play role-playing games. There are techniques that you must follow or break because they are necessary to break. Like if you have a character that needs to be interrupting somebody, don't do that for long times because it can be very annoying. That's the way it goes. Listening is very important and a lot harder to do than you may think, because it requires a constant effort to be processing what you're actually getting. And after a while, if you're also controlling who says what, when, why, and what is happening around every single character, and the rules that you're meant to be remembering, it can be tiring. It can be very tiring. So maybe it's a good idea to assign the role of the listener to one of the members of the team. In my group, we used to allocate, somebody was going to be the cartographer, somebody was going to be the rules person, somebody was going to be the controlling the initiative during the combats. We were given some roles, so we would have something to do when everybody else was actually doing the stuff. So maybe somebody should be the listener. Maybe that you trust that person could be the person who said, I heard this person say so and so and so, or I heard how, they complain about this thing, or how when they spoke about this, they said it in a tone that I thought it was a little bit off, or I didn't hear anything about this. I didn't hear anything about how the combat went. I didn't hear anything about whether the treasure was enough or not. That is very important. I'm coming here because that's where I have my microphone. That's very important. So listen, because it's very, very important. I'll talk to you tomorrow.